Blue Bunny Books welcomes you to Brian Jack's Rakkety Tam Chapter 15. Abby Humble was playing make-believe tea with the Dibbins. He enjoyed being with the little ones, joining in their games and listening to their baby talk. Ms. Me, the mouse babe, served with him an invisible platter supposedly full of goodies. Humble beamed delightedly. "Oh my, these look nice. I like fresh scones." Ms. Me scowled. "They're not scones, it is. They're cream and strawberry cake who just I make." The abbot apologized. "Oh, I'm sorry. My old eyes aren't so good anymore, you know. Cream and strawberry cake, my favorite. Have we got some sweet cordial to drink with it?" Perkle the hog babe passed him an imaginary beaker. "No, father, it's been boiled nickel like an ale." Mudge the mole babe winked broadly and said, "Yes, but don't ye tell Sis and Amal. She'm saying Dubbin's skouldn't drink boiled nicket and ale." Humble nodded seriously. I won't breathe a word. Promise. Boiled nettle ale, huh? This tastes good. I like it." Purple squeaked out a warning. "Father, I'd it quick. Sister Alma be's a-comin'." Sister Alma and Brookie came hurriedly into the dormitory where the abbot was playing with the Dibbins. The pretty infirmary keeper could not keep the urgency out of her voice. "Father Abbot, I must speak to you immediately in private. It's very important." Humble carried on pretending, putting on both paws behind his back as if hiding a boiled nettle egg. "Right, sister, just give me a moment, please," he whispered to the Dubbins. "You better go and have your tea down in the lawn so that Sister Amel doesn't see the L." Touching paws to the snouts secretly, the Dubbins loaded the make-believe mill onto a make-believe trolley and began suddenly strolling it away. Brooklyn called after them, "Save some of that boiled nettle tea for us, you greedy villains." The Dibbins clattered out of the dormitory, giggling mischievously. Humble turned to the squirrel and the otter maid, shaking his head. "Cream and strawberry cake with boiled nettle ale, huh? Whatever next? What can I do for you, young Armel?" The pretty squirrel explained her sudden visit. "When we were in the orchard solving the puzzle, I suddenly felt drowsy. It must have been only for a moment, father. I don't know whether you believe this, but Martin the warrior appeared to me." Martin the warrior." Humble looked into Armel's innocent brown eyes. "Why should I doubt you, my child? Did our warrior speak?" She nodded emphatically. "He did, though I completely forgot I had even seen him until a short while ago. Brooke and I were passing through the great hall when I saw Martin's picture in the tapestry. Then it all came back to me like a flash." The otter maid laughed. "Ha ha ha! Very excited, isn't it?" Humble silenced her with a mild glance. "Tell me, Armel, did Martin the warrior say to you?" Armel remembered everything clearly. "He said he knew me. He said why he chose me. Then he spoke these lines: 'My sword must be carried by maidens too, one who sees laughter in all you do, and you bear it southwest through Mossflower Wood to he who pursues the vermin lord, the borderer who is a force for good, the warrior who sold and lost his sword.'" Humble folded both paws into his wide habit sleeves. "Did he say any more?" Amel sighed. "No, father, that was all. What should I do?" The abbot pondered for a while when he made his decision. "Go and find my cousin, Hilary Jim. Brookie, you will seek out your Uncle Skipper. Bring them both to the gatehouse. We need to discuss this matter urgently." Jim was rather grumpy. He'd been followed Amel across the sunlit lawns to the gatehouse. "Great seasons, ain't there no rest for a poor old body? I'm scarce out of a good warm tub and into a clean robe when I'm being marched outdoors to the grounds. A beast of my seasons could catch a cold, you know." Armel patted his paw as they came to the gatehouse. "Oh, I'm sure you could take no harm, sir." "It won't help me. I'm sure you'll take no harm, sir. It's not me who wants you here. It's your cousin, the abbot." Jim opened the door. "Humble, what's the difference, missy? Why didn't you say?" The young sister smiled. "I did, but you properly forgot." Skipper and Brookie were already there, as Humble and Gordell the gatekeeper. Friar Grissom arrived unexpectedly, bring with him a sliced pie of damsons and honey with a container of his own special pear red currant wine. He popped his head around the door with air of conspiracy, commenting, "Who didn't mind me joining you? I saw you all hurrying here. It may be rather curious." Humble became him inside. "Come in, friar, sit down where and listen carefully, all of you. Sister Amel has something to say. Sister?" Amel took a deep breath and recounted her experience. And she had finished, the abbot looked from one to the other. "Well, what do you think, friends?" The skipper of otters was first to venture opinion. "I was hoping that you'd last this winter with right through the spring till now, and it wouldn't have happened, father, but it looks like it must be, huh, Jim?" The old hedgehog answered sadly. "Aye, Skip, this abbot's a sizable building, sticking out like a bandage pole twixt the woodlands and the flatlands. Stands to reason that any vermin gang in this part of the country is bound to set it." Brother Gordell caught the hedgehog's drift. "You mean the creature Gullo Savage and his followers?" Humble went to the little gatehouse window. There he stood, gazing out at the sunlit lawns and the Abbey building. "We were hoping, Skipper and I, that maybe they'd miss us somehow and go off into the different course, but if I read Martin the Warrior's message correctly, it seems that Redwall is in danger. Why else would he send us a warning through Sister Armel? One thing, though, before we go any further, I must ask, are we all agreed to act upon this?" Brookie's sudden laughter made Gordle jump. "We'd rather be putting heads if we didn't." Skipper silenced his niece by treading on her rudder. Young Brookflow's right. She's noisy but right. So then, father, what do you suggest?" Humble placed a paw on the otter chieftain's shoulder. "I say we should carry out Martin Warrior to the letter. That is, if Armel and Brookling were willing to undertake the task. As to anything else, I tell you truly, I am only a cellar hog who has the fortune enough to become Father Abbot of Redwall. As such, I'm concerned with its safety and all creatures within who are under my care. I know nothing of the ways of war and defiance. I have always entrusted those matters with you, Skipper." And the burly otter bowed slightly. Thank you, friend. I wouldn't have it any other way. Now this, Sister Armel, will you carry out the task Martin has sent you? And you, too, Brookflow, 'cause you're the one who sees laughter in all, and you're a maid, too, so—" And the infirmary sister took Brooklyn's paw. "I'll go if you come with me." The sturdy otter maid giggled in embarrassment. "I trust you'd try to stop me." Skipper ruffled his niece's head fondly. Unwinding a sling from his waist, he gave it to her with a full pebble bag. "Take good care of this, ye scallywag. 'Tis me best bag, my best sling. I want you to take good care of Sister Armel, too." Brookie helped herself to a slice of friar's pie. "Nice sling, Nucky Skip. Of course I'll take care of Armel. If I don't, you can load me into this sling and chuck me out of the attic window. Ha ha ha!" Armel gave her a playful shove. "Don't worry, Skip. We'll look after each other, won't we?" Jim looked up from the deep armchair he was occupying. "Travel by night is best. Stick to the shadows on the path sides, and don't make any noise. Me old Walt should be going along, and you by rights, but the seasons are weighing too heavy on us now, and don't be slowing you down, missy." Skipper bit his lip and worried. "I could hunt out a few of my otter mateys. Them stayed close by both of ye. It wouldn't go amiss. Couple of big coves with javelins." However, Armo wouldn't hear of this. "Definitely not. But thank you, Skip. Martin was clear who should go. My sword must be carried by maidens too, one who sees laughter in all, and you. I would not risk disobeying the word of Martin the Warrior. We will leave tonight. After supper, the directions are also quite clear. Southwest through Mossflower Wood until we find Borderer, who is a force for good, right, Brookie?" The otter maid nodded cheerily. "Correct. We'll go out to deliver Martin sword to the border cove. That warrior who sold the lost sword. Bit careless of him, wasn't it? Hope he doesn't lose Martin's sword. Skipper glared at Brooklyn so fiercely that she quailed. Don't even think of it, Brookflow. Supper that evening was served in the great hall. The tables laid out beneath Martin's tapestry. Both maidens were the center of attention. It seems like every Woodwaller wanted to give them gifts, either knowledge or information or equipment for their journey. Your mom taking me on little daddle. It's been gooder than sharp. It'll taking my grandfather's cloak too. Remember now, if you see any vermin, don't stop to talk with the nasty sly brutes. You just run off fast as you can. Humble cast an amused glance at Armel. I think you and Brookie will leave here with the information than your heads can carry. More clothing and food and weapons than your cause can bear, eh, sister? Armel put aside the lucky pebble which had been donated by Mudge the mole babe. Aye, father, but everything is given in friendship and with good heart. How can we refuse them? Wandering Walt whispered to her, Don't ye fret him, marm. Give 'em all to I. I'll give 'em to hell. Ye gifts back to your safe return, hooray. Brookie interrupted. Thank you, Walt, but that footpaw's still split. Maybe it's split altogether, then you'll have 3 footpaws. Ha ha ha. Old Walt chuckled. No, no, marm. I spreaded it out with the ointment from sister's infirmity. 'Tis fine now. My gray taken with the infirmity medicines and be good. Armel took a quick peep at Walt's footpaw. Well done, sir. Perhaps you'd like to fill as an infirmary keeper while I'm away. The ancient mole beamed with pleasure. Thank ye greatly, sister. 'Twould be nice if I such an position. Brookie raised her goblet to him. Listen, every beast, to good old Mole, who's our new healer. From now on, he will be known as Sister Walt. Ha 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 ha. Furmore gruffly called out, Your sister can ye cure my blister. If I do, I'll have a good kiss. Ho 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 ho. Walt scolded. Brr, then I'll raise another blister, sir, right on his skull. Goodfoot and Mary Blanter went back and forth. Humble waited until there was a lull in proceedings before he signaled the skipper. The Otter chieftain went to the tapestry. Standing upon a tall chair, he took the sword of Martin from its 2 brackets above the tapestry. A hush fell over as he laid the blade on the table in front of Armel. The abbot addressed her in a voice which could be heard by every Redwaller present. This is the sword of Martin the warrior, made by a badger lord the fires of Samastradon, and it is said that the blade is forged from the metal of a star which fell to the skies. This sword has always stood as a symbol of truth, honor, and justice at Redwall. I place it in your care, Sister Armel. You must promise to bring it back when your task is fulfilled. Apart from the red pommel stone, sword hilt was a black grip. Serviceable and strong, Armel laid her paw upon it, gazed in awe at the legendary blade. This was fashioned with a center channel and double edges, keen as ice in midwinter, running to a point which shimmered like a shearing flame. The blade was as old as forgotten dreams, and as lethal as death's shadow. The blade was as old as forgotten dreams, and as lethal as death's shadow. Armel voiced with hushed yet it echoed round the great hall. Father, it is a strange thing for a maid who knows only about healing and caring for the sick to be bearing such a weapon, but I will deliver it to the warrior whom Martin has spoken of. When the sword has served its purpose, I swear on my life I will return it to you here in this room at Redwall. Amid the applause, clap, 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 the cheers and approval, hear, hear, good on ya. Humble embraced the young squirrel who had seen and grown from infancy to a well-loved member of his abbey, tears dewed in his eyes from the unknown dangers she might be facing. tune in next week for chapter 16, where there's a picture of a snake and a mouse. Bye-bye.